I'm saying that Muhammad couldn't go to the mountain came to Muhammad. So Guru was saying, my Guru wanted me to go to the Western Beach and I couldn't go. Now the West is on my doorstep. Should I tell them, go away? No. So now, and he saw it in very divine perspective. He said, as he told me when I came to be here, be with him here permanently in August of 1981. If someone said, and what are you going to do? What are you going to say about it? And he said, to make recordings of me, that'll be your life's engagement. From then on. Yes. I couldn't even say it, actually. Someone said it's brilliant. Because I was like so afraid, like, you might faint at him. And Guru said, he said, I tried to collect the maximum from my Guru Maharaj. And I did. He said, but in your case, he said, my tendency for distribution was not so good. And we think, what does that mean? Because the Guru, as we know, he's incessantly engaged in art to come, mining substance and distributing it. But as I said, he preferred in a small group and not any assertive, aggressive speaking style. So he said, my tendency for distribution is not so great. I mentioned that this morning, Madhava Maharaj, he'd say to Guru, you're the great advisor of the king, but you wouldn't be a good king. But Guru doesn't want to be a king. He has his dominical nature. But the advisor of a king is even higher than the king in that sense. And Madhava Maharaj always the time, he said, you are cheating the intelligentsia. Because Guru Maharaj would stay here and not go to Calcutta. And you're cheating the educated section. They try in different ways to push them to go. Or Swami Maharaj would come and say, Nehru and Gandhi, and say, well, come on, we're going there. They need to hear what you can tell them. Come on now, let's go. And Guru Maharaj did something. Had to talk backward, kissing that. But then he said, so my tendency for distribution is not so great. He said, so but what you should do is come here and collect from me and then go and distribute that. That your position should be different. And so I could understand that, and happily that would be a good arrangement for me. Yeah, so I'll come here to extract things and then go distribute them and then come back. And I mentioned once, as I was leaving here, in Guru Maharaj, this is another thing that we can share. Get the embrace of Sri Guru Maharaj before going. That's wonderful embrace of Sri Guru Maharaj. There once when Gurudev was very upset, someone blasphemed Sri Guru Maharaj, and Gurudev wanted to send them to the locale. Let's put it that way. And he's ready to go and do it. And he told me, he said, I thought, if I'm going to kill one, I'm going to kill 10. And then I will go here and that, I will finish him, then I'll go there, by the time they reach here, I had it all figured out. And there's other times he's going to leave, and Guru said, Brahma didn't sit on his throne. Because she's such a divine lady, Guru, her sister, Gurudev can't touch the throne to see there. This type of loving, affectionate, but this time, Gurudev was so furious, infuriated by someone insulting Guru Maharaj. He wants to send them to Golota. And Guru Maharaj came and embraced him. He just squeezed it all out of him. And then Gurudev became very calm. And then later, when they were everything was normal, Gurudev said, I'm not so much power to you. Because he couldn't move. And he embraced the Guru, and Guru said, so, why did I get, the embrace of full Guru. So this time I'm going and get the embrace of Guru in the guidelines. from the aliens and was Saraswati composed all. I said, now our most Swami Maharaj is going to some remote corner of the world. And I'm like, I'm going to California. He's turns to me. And he said, now you're going to some remote corner of the world. And then I thought, well, I saw the look on my face, and he said, this is your home. Navadip is our home. This is the seed of Mahaprabhu's conception. He said, and now, in service to that conception, you're going to some remote corner of the world for some time, and then you'll come back there. So this type of love and affection, once some devotee here, I made a question about the tapes and everything, and he said something like, well, what would you know? You're an outsider. So I wrote a letter to Srila Maharaj. Maybe you could say it's a naughty letter, but this really irked me. So I said in the letter, and by the way, in the end, so-and-so people refer to me as an outsider. Like, is that true? What is your, I want to know, God bless. And when I felt like this letter, he said, when Govinda Maharaj read your letter, blood was rising from his heart. That you will ever be considered as an outsider. Blood was rising from his heart. I wanted to hear that. So, we're so privileged to be at different kinds of objects of the affection of Srila Maharaj. Absolutely. But coming here, when I came in connection with Maharaj, I foolishly, arrogantly thought that I've been in connection with Krishna consciousness movement for around 10 years. So you get, and maybe I had some reputation of that. Oh, he's heard all of Prabhupada's speech. He's read all of Prabhupada's books. He's read all of Prabhupada's letters. He can represent, Prabhupada's thinking very well. And if that, to whatever degree that may be true, I'm eternally grateful. But coming in connection with your lives, very quickly I realized how little I knew, if any, about Krishna consciousness. And not in any way to slight Srila Prabhupada, but I just realized in the presence of Guru Maharaj, in the beginning, he would say something and then everything. Yes, Prabhupada. I'd try to corroborate everything he said. But then it started going beyond what I could corroborate by Shastric reference or a tape or a letter. And then I thought, if I will not forget, but take everything I know and shelve it for some time. I'll just put it I'll suppress it and put it in the background and just concentrate on what Srila Maharaj is saying. Then I'll be in a better position to make more rapid progress instead of always trying to clarify what I'll just now hear from him exclusively. And then I'll be in a better position later when I come back to look at what I thought was valuable and collected before and see what should be retained and what should be, in his work, left alone. And I think that was the proper way to proceed. And what became clear to me quickly was this shift. We were members of the Krishna consciousness movement, the Hare Krishna movement. So it's like Krishna, 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 and Krishna in the center, and then there's Radha Lakshmi and everything. He's like pouring that, but Krishna, Krishna, and everything Krishna. And still it's everything Krishna, Krishna. But coming in connection with Srila Maharaj, suddenly this shift took place where Radharani became in the center, and by extension Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, means Krishna under the influence of the devotion of Srimati Radharani. So when Guru Maharaj would be pressed they'd say, well, there's three different types of good. Those who are more disposed towards Krishna, those who are Mahaprabhu, those equally disposed. What category? Gurus would start blushing, like trying to conceal, like he's been discovered. Then they just say, we say, move to go along, John. Like a blushing teenage girl, like how much we love Gauranga. And through Gauranga, we get Radharani Krishna everything. And he asked me once, of all the books you've published, which one do you like the best? And I thought it was like a trick question. I was like, oh, what's the answer to this? What am I, like, am I supposed? And girl I've seen, I can't answer. He just stopped it and said, Golden Volcano. He said, I like Golden Volcano. Why? What is the Golden Volcano? Again, we always noticed his original expressions. Saying, the heart and love and affection under pressure. The pressures of the boilermaker, the furnace, what's burning in the heart, like Sumati Radharani separation. Volcanic eruptions are coming out from that heart. Volcanic eruptions are coming out from the heart of Mahaprabhu, screaming in the form of the Shiv Shastra talk. So that's some stereotypical, mild idea about, like, someone say, yoga is supposed to make you calm. Right? There's nothing calm about this. Right? It's very, I mean, ultimately you could say calming, but he's using explosive terminology. Volcanic eruptions from the heart. That's not from the mild, calm position of a stereotypical meditator. But this is very intense. Why are they, they're cursing Brahma. You don't know how to make eyes. Foolish. Supposed to be creator of the universe. And you don't know how to make eyes? Why are they blinking? Why have you done that? Foolish. They're cursing him for being so foolish. And others. So that intensity we felt and experienced at the lotus feet of Srila Guru Maharaj. Sometimes he would say, when I think of Radharani, I lose my existence. And he said, we already said in Mahaprabhu's Krishna conception, he said, everything else is chat. We can only mimic those words, but if Guru Maharaj would say something like that, you could feel it. That he has the authority, to express these kind of things, this exclusive devotion for Mahaprabhu and Radharani, and to such an extreme degree. And then imagine at 92, Guru saying, but recently, I'm feeling some affinity for Krishna. At 92, he said, very recently. This is helpful. He said, and then why? To keep it consistent with what he said all along? He said, because if we're going to be a member of Radharani's view, it's natural what will happen with that because and how who's infinitely superior to us is treating us like an equal. Mars and good, that's what they're infinitely superior, yet treating you like an equal. But sometimes we'll even foolishly think that we are. They're making you that comfortable. So I told Gurus when I came here, and was, rather unceremoniously kicked out, as they say. And I was under the influence of his generous heart and non-fault-finding ways. I was saying, well, they have some criticism about me. They just went, what people, yeah, Christian. So I was trying to give some credit to their criticism, saying only under the influence of Guru Maharaj could I be that generous. So I said, well, sometimes they're saying I'm supposed to be the president of this temple. There's 500 devotees there, like head in the clouds, maybe too much dealing with scriptures and that type of thing. Should be more practical, hands-on, that, And I said, Maharaj, maybe there's some truth in what they're saying. I'm willing to concede that. And Wilma said, no. He said, many commandments. He said, but who can go up in the higher plane and bring something down here and distribute it? That is a rare thing. So he defeated that. But then a little sheepish grin appeared on his face and he said, but if they're finding these faults in you, then why have you come for my association? He said, birds of a feather flock together. And I thought, well, I want to be a bird in this flight. So he defeated me saying, look, if that's what they say is true about you, then what did you come to me for? Then it's indirectly to criticize his purpose. So he defeated that very sweetly. And so many things like that. Gurudev would say, one word from the lotus mouth of Srila Guru Maharaj is sufficient to make us his slaves forever. That's his time. One word. And he said, oh, is this the fanatical expression of a disciple? And Gurudev would say to me something, you told I was a fanatic for Guru Maharaj. I like it. You said, Goswami said, I'm a fanatic of Guru Maharaj. So is this the expression merely of a fanatical follower? There's again the sloka. And it's hard to discern where it says that one word from the Guru, disciple, all the wealth in the world, you cannot pay that back. And again, just to underscore this point, what if that one, what do we get from Guru? Oh, we were under But so that I'm now showing how this all makes sense. Shastrical spiritually, it's undefeatable. But Gurudev is taking it deeper. Think one word from the lotus mouth of Guru Maharaj is sufficient to make us your slaves forever. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be owned. When Guru Maharaj was with Saraswati Thakur and the Brajamangal Parikrama, at one point, Guru Maharaj went to take his shoes. They had to take off his shoes and enter different places, like everyone just had to do it. And he said, he's holding his shoes, and Saraswati Thakur turned to him and said, give them to them. Give them to this. And Guru Maharaj said, that it was so inconceivably beautiful, the way he said this, give them to me. He said it was the way that we hear in the Brahma Samhita that all movement is dance, all speech is song. So that Saraswati Thakur who did not sing in the kirtan, did not dance in the kirtan. When someone had they said, when the Gaurima were having kirtan, Saraswati Thakur, he was singing and dancing. Well, I said, probably inconceivable. So think about it. The Guru Maharaj heard in his poetry, Kripaya Hari Kirtan Murti Jala. He's Hari Kirtan Murti. Hari Kirtan personified. He's talking about Krishna until he becomes unconscious. Right? He didn't dance in the Kirtan. Everyone's dancing by his inspiration. He didn't sing in the Kirtan. And the Guru Maharaj said in conclusion, yeah, Every word that ever came from his mouth was kirtan, and his every movement was dance. That's Guru Maharaj's way of seeing spiritual meaning. That, with that intensity, preaching Krishna, I think that's what is Guru Maharaj saying. Lotus face, like a lotus flower, flush, pink, expressing itself in full bloom and full blossom. What is his neck like? Bhakti Pramala Kansana Dirga Kanundita Hema Mila. Is saying that his neck was like the golden stalk of the lotus, and his a lotus would be at Ninda, blasphemy, compared to the actual beauty of Srila Saraswati. But Srila Guru Maharaj himself, he looked so beautiful. Guru Maharaj expressed himself like this, with his palms, his hands, and he had one ring that Gurudev gave him. That was the pearl, mukta, a little pearl ring on one finger. But if you look at Srila Guru Maharaj, the lotus nails on his lotus hands, the nails, they look like pearls. And so when Guru Maharaj is talking, it looked like 11 pearl moons were orbiting his lotus face, while a stream of Harikata nectar coming out. That's what it looked like. 11 moons orbiting the lotus of Guru Maharaj's face, and endless streams of Krishna Katha, Guru Katha coming from it. And we're reminded when Bhakti Vrinda and Madhusudan was took Sannyas on the went to Guru Maharaj in Varanasi. And there you can see these two locations where all what we know as the books of the Matan and this and Dharna and the wisdom, they all sprung out in there. Right? Sometimes Guru Maharaj is saying, like, with childlike sense of discovery and excitement, this came to me the other day. Right? He wasn't just talking things he heard from 40 or 50 years ago. Right? Fresh thing. You go, oh, this came the other, 2 days back. And then he revealed that to you. So anyway, in that place, reminded of in Chernobyl, there was a nuclear event like 30 years ago. But you can go there today, like with a Geiger counter, and there's still radiation, and a lot of it. You won't see it with your eyes, but a special machine can detect the presence of the radiation. So in a similar way, when you're in Navadvip Dham, and more specifically at the Aparad Bunzino Khan, and you're at Chaitanya Saraswat Marsh, there's a type of spiritual radiation, like spiritually nuclear events took place here, right? And beyond time and space, but it's still within the environment. And sometimes by the grace of Guru Maharaj, if we're fortunate, we can tap in to these things in different places, like here in the room of Sri Gurudev, on the veranda of Sri Guru Maharaj, at the Samadhis, before the deities. And the last thing I'll say before Madhusudan Maharaj will speak is that going before the deities of Guru Govinda, Gandharva Govinda Sundar, the girl, his Radharani, she's dancing. That is her gesture. She's dancing, Gandharva. Why? To keep Krishna attracted. That's why she's singing and dancing. To keep Krishna totally attracted. And the last time we went there, the Gurudev, one of the last times, we're looking, Gurudev turned to me, well, he's seeing the deities and he was happy that the world was so. I thought, what he sees with those eyes, I can't even begin to imagine that there is time enough to share something. So just to conclude, so Guru Maharaj is the devotee of Mahaprabhu to the extreme. They'll say, well, what about Krishna? Who is Mahaprabhu? Enveloped in the heart and halo of Radharani. Krishna, this is the good news, the most inconceivably wonderful news. Krishna is announcing to the world that it's better to be a devotee than to be Krishna. Take it from me. What you should know, I'm Krishna, and I'm telling you, it's better, it's superior to be a devotee of me than it is to be me. Atila Vasamrita Murti Krishna. But not just any devotee. He's praising Radharani. Radha Pingala Sasina, Radha Bhakta Pingala Sasina, Philippa. So Guru said, that's why Mahaprabhu descended. To preach the glories of Radharani to the world, the greatest devotee of Krishna, who can give Krishna to everyone. When he wants to give Krishna and Krishna's name to everyone, what? The Guru Rupa of Krishna is Gauranga. When he becomes Guru, he takes the position of Gauranga, and from that position you can hear. You get the highest thing. So, so I just have to say this also that one you can pick up maybe on this and tell some people on the way that Guru Maharaj is so attached to Srila Guru. Sometimes it's God brothers would be a little envious about it. As if it was like an impediment or something. And but sometimes Srila Govinda, she has to go to Calcutta for a few days. And this is a whole drama. How to get Guru Maharaj to accept that Govinda Maharaj will go to Calcutta and he'll be right back. It's a very delicate dance, a delicate issue. You got to really try and bring us just the right things. And then Gurudev will be gone. And so many times, Gurudev, when he reaches the Gauranga safety, by the time he gets there, there's Harichan or Mahananda waiting like, and he knows Guru Maharaj is already calling him back. Right. Yeah. There's something you gotta go in, and then he has to come back. And then they have to, it's like when Krishna leaves to go cow herding in the morning from Mother Yashoda. There's some similar, they have like the goodbye goes on eternally. And they do it again and again and again until they can convince her. The last thing is where she's pleading with Baladev to take care of Krishna, that nothing will happen there. And after Baladev like promising, and they're like hoping, finally they can like get out their flutes and start singing and dancing and everywhere. But anyway, it's once some devotee came and said something to Guru Maharaj. The Guru Maharaj is like so uncompromising. I want to say the detail, but told something about something. And then Guru Maharaj came out very, it was about his country where he's teaching. But Guru Maharaj said, if they don't respect the dress of the Sannyas, they don't go to that country. But it was like, that's the country he's from. That's where he teaches. So he comes out, Guru Maharaj told me not to go to my country. And then someone else said about another thing. It was going to affect selection. It was like a whole thing. And as Gurudev has to solve these matters. But he came to me to tell me what to disseminate for the future of this. And he said, reach out. And this I have to say also, that remember so. Gurudev, I couldn't drink the water from the well, like Madhusudan. So, because I'm just a screwed up individual. So, what he would do is make some lemon sarbat. A little like Italian soda in the evening, and send that to my room. And sometimes, if there was I would be a knock at the door, there would be Guru there. There were going to find someone with that type of love and he would bring this drink to me himself, right? Because like I was having difficulty drinking from going too well. But anyway. So this time he comes and is telling me like some instructions to like disseminate them. He says, before I go to see Guru Maharaj, before I will tell anything to Guru Maharaj, so first I will go and be in his divine presence. and then see, what is this mood? And then depending on what maybe I won't say anything, or I'll see how it's favorable now to introduce this thing. So he's trying to say they made the mistake of not detecting Gurumars as expressing something, and then like the chaku, the machete came down. So then Gurudev told the secret, said, but sometimes, said, if I needed to put Gurumars in a good mood, and then later get him to like sign off on something, he said, I will sing this one song. He said, I learned the song when I was in Balampur as a little boy. He's like 4 years old or something. And these cowherd men, these Gowallahs would come and they'd be having like kirtans about Radha, Krishna, and things like that. But it would be from like the perspective of cowherd boys. So Gurudev said he would, as a little boy, join them. The group would be dancing by and he'd like join on him. And he said, and I felt like I was a cowherd boy at that time. So, but anyway, then he said, so I sing the song. When Gurudev came, he knew so many songs. And Guru Maharaj told him, like, you forget that for now. Checked off 30 Bhakti Vinod songs. You commit these to memory. Where they've learned all 30 in a week. Guru Maharaj was impressed. But later, sometimes Guru Maharaj said, what are some of those songs? And on special occasion, he could sing one of these songs from his childhood. That we would normally take it to be maybe inappropriate or adipaya. But in this song, it began with Tunga Mani Mani. And here, the Spirit is sitting right now. In one of the last times we were here. I saw Gurudev like talking to himself and with this big, beautiful, blissful smile on his face. And I couldn't help but ask, what was he? What's going on? And I said, what did he say to him? Called her Jasoda. He said, she's doing arati in the face of the stage of servitude from the walls and speak on the. That's what he was relishing. And then I said, but the Tungabani Mandir, I was searching, I can't understand, what does this mean? And where it said, oh, but they're saying, like, the heart of Srimati Radharani is like a jewel lighthouse that is illuminating Krishna pain in all directions. That's the song that he said would put Guru Maharaj in a good mood. So sometimes I sing that song, then Guru Maharaj and then I get here and I don't. But then maybe they send you on the cycle to learn the same things. I should usually see what before. Right. So on that note, if you would please say something. I cannot give a lecture as you were giving, but in fact, I can't either. No, you are well trained as performers. We need to lecture in that. I can only talk to the devotees and say something. If I don't that note, then I will hear Subha Sattva, if we can keep that down, then if Srila Gurudev was in Calcutta, and Maharaj wanting him to come back and read one something like that, and he must have a very same Subha Sattva, and Subha Sattva gave it down to that. But he was so big that very forceful, very strong, and so they describing so affectionate. Guru Maharaj said, Subha Sattva. Then I enter up. If I don't go, he's standing there at the door. I tell him, I tell Guru that I'm telling him to go. Guru Maharaj told me to bring me back. Okay, then I'll
later in the afternoon, then, so things is gone, you open the door, so on Saturday, so Saturday. So that was it. Another to the past related to that. And then Silver Saturday later, they came down with alcohol. So it was very sweet to go there. As an him today, because he is one of the first persons to push me to wear this kind of clothes, and then it really hasn't been repeatedly pushing me. So to myself and to others too, having a dream, etc. And so on. He was very forceful, very clear about his dream, and it hasn't come up again and again and again. Just very recently it came. And all of the senior sannyasis heavily explain it from so many scriptural ways, so that I'm baffled and cannot put any chance of it by my age and by circumstance and so many other things. And now it's the right time. We have all the sentences here. I went to each of the sentences. And without having said yes, Maharaj knows. I didn't say it. No. But each of the sannyas to him as well. So I know that today I had an operation, I've been in the operation theatre. So I'm not in the best of health to sleep after operations. And I did ask them to give me an anesthetic. It's not necessary to get anesthetic. But it is the wish of the righteous people. You can say the combined wish. Maybe one is quite sufficient, but the combined wish of the righteous of these people. And my deciding factor, my turning point was saying this. Go there, this is your son. Yes, and go on that. Well, it's true. The will of the Vaishnava is supreme. So they'll say Krishna is supreme. You hear Vaishnava say, Krishna Icha. What is the will of Krishna? But then Durade told, and as well. But the Vaishnavas will say, because Krishna's Bhakta he loves his devotees. Whatever their will is, that is supreme. So it's a fact, when the will of Krishna becomes expressed through the will of the Vaishnavas, then it's a double dose of supreme will. Or as here they would say, wills supreme. I would just like to say, both Guru Maharaj and Gurudev used to talk about the predecessor acharyas and the six Goswamis, Mahaprabhu, very much in the present tense. And I would just like to say one thing that every social segment. Guru Maharaj is present, but Gurudev is present. Left, they disappear. So we are playing out the right towards in my case, of course, now I'm having to make that very sincere prayer, but everybody's still important and more people are either watching and seeing as they see kids or the presence of all the devotees here. They were so extraordinary, they are so extraordinary because maybe invisible, but they're seeing everything as well, all for them. Not only they are together. You just touched on when Guru Maharaj passed away, Sri Maharaj passed away. Then I was with Sri Govinda Maharaj. After deities, in the afternoon he would go for afternoon walk regularly, and we were in front of the deity. And this was my most memorable time in front of the deities, moments of the the Gurudev is standing in front of the deity with his hands on the planes. And he's looking and looking, he's fixed, he's glued to the deity from there. And so I said, I don't know if anybody else was there. I only remember him and me, he was standing side by side. He also there, maybe one of them over, I can't say. But Gurudev is saying how beautiful is Radharani, how beautifully from her. I never saw her so beautiful like this, sort of, that's saying, isn't she all this? And again, I can only see, I can only see it outside, and you can see that you are seeing it beauty. Use it in the But Gurudev said, why is she so, why is she smiling so? involvement with something. Guru Maharaj has pretend to that association. So they're all together involved in this. And so they're all peasants. It is not like historic detail. It is a peasant born. So it's only this one that I can look back on. It's like, it's very interesting. As in the leaders that supervise this non that is like themselves, as far as these uses everything.
What am I sad about that? Instead, we have a tacit obligation. That makes sense. So you must, and for everyone, every disciple, what's been freely gifted to you by your Gurudev and your Lord, you must distribute that to others. And then he added this whole part. He said, and not anything else than what is given you. Not some generic idea or even generic Krishna consciousness we celebrate. But that's not what distinguishes Chaitanya Saraswati from any other divine law. It's a unique wealth of Chaitanya Saraswati, not by the grace of Srila Guru and Srila Guru. And we're all fortunate to be recipients of that. That's what we're supposed to give to others, and not anything less than what's given to us. And that's why when there's the tendency to be harsh and they're not as being generous, or dismissive and they're being accepting, rejecting and they're embracing, then we're under the influence. We're offering ourselves. We want to come under their influence. And as Madhusudan Maharaj is saying, this very thing Guru said when someone uses, I'll just say the B word. And Guru said, no, not to say like that. He said, we are using the word disappear. He said, they are fully absorbed and sit in another plane, just not visible. We heard Prabhupada from the beginning using the word prakat, aprakat. So, manifest and unmanifest. But when you say unmanifest, this means not visible to us here, but not even on the point of invisible, we are devotees of the invisible. And we worship in that plane. Sometimes when we would be here hearing Guru-Maharaj's argument about, sometimes he would be astonished at what he felt. The level of representation, the flow that came through. And then he would say in a very affectionate, generous way, said, our Guru Maharaj and your brothers, they're looking down on this transaction and they're very clear, they're very happy. So it's a fact. When we hear Srila Gurudev, someone gave me a tape that's Gurudev on fire, speaking all these wonderful slokas that Krishna Prabhupada from other places. Technically speaking, it's like Australia, 1997, 97, 6 or something. 6. But when you hear it, it has nothing to do with payment states. And but you know like this, Netihasa Nikalpana. Netihasa means history. But Saraswati Thakur dropped this enigmatic phrase saying, Krishna's pastimes are not historical, and neither are they imaginary. And you go, wait, you mean it didn't happen? That's not what he says. See, they're not a historical occurrence. Just that plane is being manifested here at a particular time. We're appreciating that. And then it's withdrawn. It's being manifested in another plane. They said, Kalpana. Kalpana means we're imaginary, it's fictitious. You see, it's not the creation of someone wrote all of this one. As we heard in that when you wrote the Chalpahati and praised Jayadev, right? Jayadev Goswami. And how beautiful this is. It's Jayadev Goswami. Right? I once said to her, I said, oh, your name means like honeymoon? She said, no, your name not what it means. It's a sweet type of movement of Radharani. It's a very high name. Like somehow she's moving. We can't even think of it. It seems go, we get it. For a moment. And then let it go. What was it saying? Oh, nature hasn't been helping. But, Saraswati Thakur. So, whether or not they happen, appear, magic,
just came up.
right, and appearing, being visible is claimed for some time. Jayadev. So, Jayadev Goswami, he'd say, hello, I went to Gita Govinda. I know that appearance. Right? There's sung in the temple of Jagannath, Theodore, Mahaprabhu, all these things will happen in time. But when it comes from his heart to express some particular thing, he's thinking too much audacity. What, do you think you're a great poet? That you can say these things, whatever could come out in your heart, that's real? No, that's heredity, right? And Radharani and Krishna, so that they had a disagreement about things. Or the basis of love disagreements, no reason. There's no cause. That's the important thing to understand. Like love, there's no cause, but suddenly there's all this attitude looking in both directions, that kind of thing. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Radharani forbidding Krishna entrance in the Kunda. What type of savor is that? So I felt like if Krishna tell him is not allowed to enter, that's your example. Krishna, and Krishna, can I talk to you for a second? It's not allowed because of some perceived offense. So anyway, so then Radharani, what did you say? So in this, one of these sort of events has transpired, and he's thinking to write, well, Kim Padante, that's another sort of that's not understanding of that, but that Krishna is going to touch the feet of Radharani and beg forgiveness. That's what he's thinking to write. And then he thinks, this is too much. I'm getting carried away. I don't trust what's being expressed here. And he erases that content. Better, I should just calm down, go days, take prasadam, come back to this later, be a humble devotee. Somehow I've gone way beyond my capacity. And that's how he's thinking. The great Jayadev, Kavi, Jayadev Goswami, author of the Nidhi. And what do you hear? While he's gone, Krishna assumes his form, and before his wife, and does it empty. With his own hand, Krishna writes those very words. That Krishna, he bows down to touch the lotus feet of Radharani and asks forgiveness. But he's writing in his own hand. Why? He wants this to be known in the world. Radha Vakival Prema Rasasima. How great Radharani is. Yes, I admit it. She's superior to me. Right? She's Krishna's better half. Is it possible for the Absolute to have a better half? Yes. Apparently it is. She's Krishna's better half. He's admitting defeat in the presence of her devotion, that she's superior. He wants that to be revealed to the world. He writes it with his own hand. So, and then Jayadev's wife, thinking as Krishna, her husband, serves him, takes the prasadam, which she's sitting there now taking his remnants, it's a Vedic system, and then actual Jayadev comes back and sees his wife eating, and that's not the system. He should eat first, that's okay. And he's saying, what are you doing? You know, I'm taking you from that. But before me, you just take her eat. Today, my husband is losing his mind. What? Jim, don't you remember? You went in and you wrote one more thing in your book, and then you came out, put this out of, and then what? And he runs in to see that book. He said that Krishna, what came in his heart? The will of the Vaishnava is supreme. Krishna wrote it. It's for him. I want everyone to know that. Then, of course, Jayat is very eager to get that prasadam from hugging with you. So once we brought one of the big gurus from Krishna here to make still doing labs. We had a very nice meeting. And at the end, because I was thinking, my strategy was that I will shamelessly bring anyone in connection with Guru Maharaj, and then I'll learn. I've done as much as I can. And I'm thinking, they'll hear from him, that'll be it. And Guru Maharaj told me later once, and I myself was an example of that, when I said these very things to them, as we got more intimate and expressive, Guru Maharaj said, it takes 2 meetings. And I went, oh, yes. You think, right, should only think one, right? But what happens is, after the first meeting, we were taken to such a high place, as Sarva Baba Bengali once said when George doing Shikshastakam, we saw Navadri began to resonate with what Maharaj was expressing. As he told the wind started coming, then he said, and then tears were coming like the torrents and the rainy season. It started raining, and we were all like, seeing the environment of Navadip expressing what was coming from Guru heart. And then Sadhu Baba, I actually looked up the side of the veranda for a bearing to try and figure out where we were. And Sadhu Baba, he said it best to Guru, and everyone knew something divine happened. He said, that's important. What? He took us somewhere. And while he changed it into something a little similar, that it was a fact. Somehow we're taken to another plane by this grace. Why am I saying this? Because, so that Guru came, and then he heard Guru speak. And he was like overwhelmed, and as Guru gave, took us downstairs for some prasadam. So, and all I said, Dave and Baljak. But sometimes, and I, being such a baby, Guru Dave would take extra care of me. And then one day I came back to the mat, he's the way they're like, so happy to see me. Who've been living at the mat, like, until but they're like, really, like, a little too happy to see me. And I'm like, well, we're so happy you're back. And I was trying to figure this out. And then they said, because now there's going to be and like that's how they were saying like that. I think all this attention I've been knowing. But then, so that's what they say. Gurudev, he gets out the mean, but he's got a way that he captures everyone. With the prasadam, the people tonight on Mars, so you came, my friend up is today, and they didn't want any experiment to be such a famous person and a big rule in this time. And he said the Guru, it's like, I was on my hands and knees begging them, please, no, they will fall, and let's just see what I said, no, they won't, and I was just lying through my teeth. But praying that I was able to do it, I wasn't sure. But then tonight he agreed. And then, so finally they agreed. And they give me bhakti problems and Ardam and Roma says the Sannyas Mantam. And he's talking to Gurudev and said about like, I can leave today. And he said, Gurudev said, well, that is not necessary. You can go tomorrow. But anyway, so that, we took here, and this is like, up to here, this was the room. This was the room. It was even a partition between the campus. Right. It was opened big like this later by a Charger Myers, a service for doing it. It's a little tiny little room. And I'm saying like scenario, we're taking prasad on this real doing that. It's like, he's entering a new world. And there's this one preparation thing. And where they've asked, how do you like that? And maybe some don't know what it was, but we're trying to find out where they would make this. That was the favorite preparation of Kadai Pundit, Nityananda Prabhu's father. I love it! This is But anyway, we're downstairs and eating the meat bake, and Bhajas. And word it comes to us, and he's just telling people, giving some orders, and then giving them something, he's telling them all this. And then he says to us, and he said, Kormais wants to see you again. And that's very unusual, because usually after Kormais finishes his lot, go down this time. That's it, until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He said, Kormais wants to see you again. So the 3 of people back upstairs, and you see, and this, you understand, it's taken themselves by Mark, this is classic, Kormais with everything. Kormais says, I am thinking that your earnestness to preach about Mahaprabhu was so great and so sincere that Mahaprabhu himself personally supplied this prasad. So I told the Maharaj, you bring some for them to take. So that's Maharaj put that. And then that's when the one who said it. Couldn't think of what to say. Thank you. Thank you so many. And there was a thing. So that doesn't sit wrong, doesn't it? And you're a little like, what's the nice thing? I said, it's got some appreciation. He said, but thank you. He said, that presupposes 2 parties who are different. And that one party came and they got something from the other party and they're saying, thank you. He said, but actually, and then Gurma said this very affectionately. He opened his heart up and he prayed and said, but we were all Mahaprabhu's men. Like that. And I thought, dude, is so infinitely superior and exalted. He says, we, and he says, we're all included. And Gurma says, we. But there were others who weren't going to include him and they're we. And he says, but he says we, he's including us. You realize that we know we're disciples upon revelation of musicians, but you realize the word I saw after a certain amount of time, they're friends. They've transcended the master's servant. It's there, it's suppressed, it's real. But now they're friends, they're best friends. So Gurus would make you feel we're friends, even though he's so superior in height. And it's together, let us pursue this. And seeing your disciples of feel, it's like you should Dhammaramaraj, I have to say it, the Sri Dhammaramaraj is such a, probably would say a Vaishnava is a perfect Dhammaramaraj, but I think of that, I think of Sri Dhammaramaraj, and that just like fit perfectly. But he would come here and say, so what is this I hear about subjective evolution? And then Gurmars would start, and he was just like, so if anyone could be soaking this up, he would reach. But and I was telling this before, when we're talking about names and things, like Professor Sannyas, his name was Nishikanta Sannyas, his legal name. His spiritual name was Narayan Das Adhikari. And he had a title, Walking Sudapal. But they call him Professor Sannyas. Because there was a feather in the cap of Pradyamat that he had a big professor. So the Sri Dhammaramaraj calls it scientist. But so Sri Dhammaramaraj, can he play that role perfectly? But he also wanted the brothers to know, like, he would sing, sometimes a little bit on play harmonium and different things. He's from Manipur, they have a different culture there. And so there's devotional side. So he's telling Gurus in a very, like happy and sharing. So I'm building a temple, constructing a temple in Manipur. And Guru said, "No, that's very nice. But you are not meant for that type of construction." He said, meaning in this. He said, "The Swami Maharaj wants you to construct a temple over the tomb of Dari." And everybody started dancing. It was so sweet. That you should construct. That only you can do. This other type of construction, many can do. But only you can construct the temple over the tomb of Dari. So anyway, that meant to thank you. It doesn't sit well, like we're all Mahaprabhus now. And then we all live happily ever after. That's just the way. I didn't have that often. I didn't. So, you couldn't be silent, feeling out, jump, dog, as it is. And so, we said, two meetings. Oh, so then I told him that, wow. See, when I had this first real important meeting with him, heavy meeting, I was told, in what like you already said, one word, the first sentence where I answered everything. What was perplexing the mind, so the finest mind, we could say, of the Krishna consciousness movement. In one sentence, he answered, everything became adjusted. The famous 3 types of guru we may consider. 1 foot, 2 feet there, extending 1 foot here, taking from here to there. 1 foot there, 1 foot here, a no connection there, taking from here to there. And he said in the third pass, 2 feet in the mud. And with their eyes fixed on Vaikuntha and saying, "Let us go there." So everything became adjusted, but anyway, we're not like more and more and wonderful. So I was totally adjusted and happy after the 1 meetings. But then anticipating the minds of others, and then my own mind will say that was too wonderful. It was too perfect. The mind will start going, did it really happen? Right, too good to be true. It some doubt on some level would come. Then, second meeting, reinforced. No, it was all true. It was all real. That thing was like that. So, and as I told sometimes I say now, but this time, Yanni sounds so what you going on. But on personal level, he's saying that. Then Bhakti Abhayana Ayana and I spoke peace from Hungary. He got up this one morning in Mayapur. His name from Maharaj. So we both knew we weren't going. We decided we needed to quarrel. So we're going to sneak out and go to the Chaitanya Saraswati Mart and find Krishna's Balaji. We didn't dream we could escape the room. But keep reading that. They keep watching that. Or we thought Balaji Maharaj, we'd met before sometimes during the Harinam. So, we go, we sneak out, it's like, we get on the boat, we're at the mart, we go into what we see Harichom, and there's Balaji Maharaj, Harichom's there, and we had to go down to the city camp. And I say, oh, Balaji Maharaj, all the great disciples of Saraswati Thakur are leading the world day by day, and we're afraid the real kirtan will be lost. So but I feel if I would record, then we'll preserve this for the posterity. Full of tape recorder out of my body. Because he's very unpredictable. How they'll be at. You saw the tape recorder, he said, the important thing is that you can't play Krishna. Put some tape before you walk in the house. It's around this almost, but it was not it was on the and like 1 round, 2 rounds. After round 4 or 6 rounds, we started to lighten up a little bit. Then he's like conducting. We're chanting. Now he's on good note that he wanted to be merciful to us. So he like jumped. He is very sprightly. He jumped off the bed, and he goes, "Come!" And it's just like this. He's moving very fast. We're going very fast, and he goes through where London used to sit and keep it night. And we go up like to a spiral out to sleep like, and then I thought, oh, this is unbelievable. And there's Guru Maharaj in his long chair, like what we said, they go. Now he's facing the deities and wrapped in all these stars, and it's like February, it's full of. And we both just like did Shashtanga Dandavats from the gate. And almost like started crawling towards you. That the most inconceivable thing is happening. And then we approached Guru Maharaj, and then Babaji Maharaj walks, and he perched himself behind Guru Maharaj like this, and the whole thing is like, he's standing the whole way. And then he perches himself behind Guru Maharaj and goes, "Listen! Listen!" You understand? He doesn't preach. He knows the premier preacher of personal consciousness of all time is upstairs. He's going to give us some mercy. Come in. Welcome. Come in. And we follow him to the lotus feet of Guru Maharaj, and then Guru Maharaj starts coming and he spoke about subjective levels, absolute consideration, a wonderful talk. But at one point, though, saying about Babaji Maharaj and us, knowing the children, this will realize his sense of humor and use of understatement. And you tell really, our members don't need Hare Krishna. He said, this gentleman is 10, like 24 hours a day. But this gentleman, he has some offended me, took us out. It's like, so it's natural to be family. Just do that. That's the first thing. Oh, and then for the rest of the Lord's field, then realizing, what is your preaching field? And I said, I preach in Eastern Europe and the communist countries. But just recently, I went to Russia. We're going to preach in there. And this, what Maharaj said was amazing. He said, there was a cloud of atheism hanging over the country where the Soviet Union, like blocking the God-like sun, like this cloud of atheism. He said, but Srila Swami Maharaj, when he went there, just that once he went there, he wrote, the Mahabharata purifies 8,000 listeners, like over 100,000 kilometers. So just by his going there, then I said, the cloud of atheism lifted. I said, now you can go there and preach successfully. So even Guru Maharaj gave his blessings for preaching personal consciousness and Russia for the Soviet Union countries. And on that note, Bhakti, Bimal, Abadut Maharaj, please come here and say something. Unless you want to do it from there. Just in the middle time of the city here, it is very nice to see that this collaboration is kept very much as when it was here, where they would sit here in this regular sitting bench. And here on this pillar, he has Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mass, and it's attached. On this pillar here, it's attached the house, as it were. And on the right, he's got the Russian, right? That
St. Petersburg. 29 feet or so.
St. Petersburg.
Yeah. So he's seeing two pillars, and he must also be thinking Chaitanya Saraswat Math, how it started from being a thatch house, and now a worldwide mission where in Russia, which was such a country which you cannot think that any sort of freedom of religion, etc. will come. So many devotees there, and they were so pleased to have these three. Anyway, in general, the veranda is kept just as it was when Srila Gurudev was present here and staying here, so we can share some of his prasada, what he surrounded himself with. And he liked very much his lecture, saw such a people.
This one.
Oh, that, yeah, still on online.
Yeah, it's very
Is it the one where
he sells this is your garden. I mean, what he's selling in the picture.
the Golden Tubears? There's commission for that.
I think very extensive that
So feed from the beats and
more than 100 distance. What the other to around the say, you might like chin my prayers to you're fine, you know, swing like it. Almost smart.
I will now recite the Vishnu transform. No,
Okay, I'll
then
I bring out, I thought Flora is changing, I'll bring out a few ones. Consider that. Oh, my piano is on this young man, and that's what they are. Children, you come in, and she will be. You can say, there's also something of the strong eyes, you know, it means a flower. A flower actually means our longer discipling. That's just a changing of the strong eyes, she's really in the heart. What it really means is Guru to his divine media gave disciples a flower and also a condition. And such a wonderful flower was opened in our March on the garden of Pure Maharaj as Madhusudan Maharaj. And this is not
today's world function basically
starts using him to
I raise objection.
So,
Right.
and there
just that hour to be offered at the notice speed of Golden in the hospital.
I was, as I feel, it's really good to harmonize it with people. It's when I don't have proper qualifications to reference it. But, so, there are different types of flowers in the garden. There's some flowers that bloom very fast. There's some flowers that are growing very substantial and been taking the soil. So Maharaj has been in China, and one of his disciples, Malina Devidasi, which is a tea master. So one time, because we are tea connoisseurs and tea lovers, she brought us some tea. And I said, why is tea so special? And she said, well, this is actually oolong, but it's a rock tea. I said, what is it, rock tea? She said, because this tea been growing on a mountain rock. And if you can survive in the rock, as a tea, not on the soil, on the rock, in a hardcore rock, to potency of this environment will be released of the tea. That's why this is so expensive, this is so wonderful, it's worth it. So, the flower has been artificially raised very big. It has some, yes, it has some volume. Only those who have long tea substantial understanding. But if this flower, it's just like Parijata flower, in growing in a particular environment, and growing very slow, you have to produce the most unique fragrance you can have. So, in all these years, we have seen we actually witnessed the great growth of Maharaj And actually, he loved Jim, but I can say this. It is not for his own satisfaction. And that's what my argument was in favor of this Sannyas. It is not for only your own spiritual development. It is actually to be able to share things which you are received and received from our Guru Vargas, including Srila Bhakti Satyavada, Goswami Maharaj, Srila Govinda Maharaj, Goswami Maharaj, no others. But we had unique association, unique ability to serve so many different Vaishnavas. And everybody will put this in satisfied with you. So Guru gave Vanamata and Glory, we know that he's got the mercy of all the top brothers of Guru Maharaj and Saraswati Thakur. And what we can say is that Madhusudan really has all the blessings and all goodwill backing him up of all families in Chaitanya Saraswati Mata, and also people outside of Chaitanya Saraswati Mata, such as Radha Swami, any actual substantial person to visit Chaitanya Saraswati Mata must, not almost time go distance, be attended or be amazed by the quality of his service attitude, his dedication, determination, and that's why we're glorious and dancing today, actually. It's not only that. Not only that. I cannot believe that I'm the only person in Russia who represents Srila Govinda Maharaj. I do not believe that. Because I know how good that exists in everybody's heart. Those who's in position with me, even those who's in opposition with me. It touched everybody's heart. Those who are my friends, those who are my enemies, those who are like me, those who doesn't like me, because all of them got mercy abilities. So I know that people like Krishna Kanta, Manini, and all the the guys in Hungary, and Brazil, all of them have some good mercy, special mercy. Every devotee can be here and stay at a particular time with Buddha and serve. It's not something very substantial. So that's why I believe that this treasure is so big. It can be represented by one man, or two men, or 100,000 men. But the important part is everyone here has something divine. If who can conduct the service? See, Gopal's idea was who can conduct service as it's again starts all time. That's why he thought about the China's. But to us personally, it's a very important thing. Cooperate, close and cooperate, and take care of Western devotees under association guidance of Mahananda. That's amazing last time. And we can see time going by, time passing. And actually, these instructions are more and more refined for us. Because we can understand there's nothing we can do with external circumstance. You can't establish devotion by court case. You can't establish devotion by argument. You can't establish devotion by, political party, left, right. You can only, devotion can be established only by devotion. So at some point, they were very much lamenting that our mission, which has a very high name, went down. Because people heard we had so many problems, we had this, that. So it was very painful for us to hear that such a great mission as Guru Maharaj, this area is being actually a residence of opposition. In time, they got converted. But it was very painful. But what is very happy today that we believe that by Madhusudan Maharaj taking charge of preaching. Sannyas means preaching. Sannyas does not mean actually his own spiritual life. His spiritual life now is to make spiritual life for others, as he's always been doing. But now it is coming to the extreme level. It's just like a marathon, You start running, and when you start the marathon, maybe, it will be short, this great sport event, maybe 100,000 people will be running. And then you see after they're running all together at about first 5 minutes. And then the start formation. The leader of the guys running behind, liters water guys are behind. And about a marathon is 40 kilometers. At about 20 kilometers, things become clear, very clear. That means like half of them like all train, but half of them like going away because they just can't. It's a very, intense program. And those who are think I'm, the best runner in my field, actually they find themselves in a very bad parts. They can understand, I'd rather run behind this person back. So this is kind of like pulling in. So at the start again, you understand marathon? In the beginning, everybody run. On the end, it's like little groups. And actually, at the very end, the whole thing starts. So that's not really starts in the beginning, because at the beginning, everybody has some qualities to run something. But it starts in the end, when you have no power, no enthusiasm. You see, you can't really make it because you know you can't make it. At that very point, he defined what's called second breath. Or third breath, really. Second breath. So that's what we expect. So Madhusudan Maharaj now achieved that second wind. As he's been running, there is success there. For many years, proved that, we can run behind his back. And
I'm not sure about any of these things.
well, sure, that's something too. But now we can understand. So second wind is you mean actually to dedicate completely and deliver. Because Prabhupada, if you look at Prabhupada's life, he's been all of his life a great servitor. He's full of advice. And more than 10 years he spent for translating books or preparing himself. But really, his last 10 years of his life, that's where the miracle is happening. That's where he delivered Krishna consciousness to everybody else. Only 10 years. And if you consider that in 10 years, how many temples and centers, so people, and which always knows better than that, people with all the interesting things. The devotees in the ISKCON, there would be a collection temple to temple. If Prabhupada would be in one temple, then some of the devotees would go there and find out what did she read, what did she like about this. Because they could not really substantially agree with him all the time. So the devotees would be in constant exchange. So some devotees would, kind of just hunting what the Prabhupada would do in this temple, what she knew, what did he say in preparation, what did she say there? Am I correct? Because our disciples, so say that it's truth. So, but you can understand, in 10 years, in very short time, practically with very short association with people, to be such intense divine personality, to start the whole world movement, and to charge this, it's just like generator. Because once it gets started, start get bond. But again, as Sannyas mentioned, his idea was, actually we're going in a very nice way, but what about the thinking people of Mahaprabhu? Maybe we should preserve that. And that's why we're so grateful for Srila Sannyas, because his idea was not about external progress. His idea was to get it right. It could be great in numbers like Muslims, that's great. That's wonderful thing. We can pray together and feel movement here. But as quantity increase, the quality decrease. So quality of service, that's what we actually can detect in Madhusudan Maharaj's personal life. And that's what we expect from them.
They captured me and let me and engaged.
So now I'm telling last I'm finishing. I'm finishing. Say lost.
If we can.
I just want to finish with 1 second. So the important part, the sannyas is an initiation. It's a wonderful thing, but it's not end of the life. Myself, okay? Myself. So it's not the end of the life, it's the beginning of life. And great life. So
And death and spiritual alive.
right. Jazz showed up to see the friend of PJ. So then Maharaj is going to so I just want to be clear. So what we are witnessing here is not only the beginning of life, a great prospect. We all praying to Gurudev for giving that opportunity to us to look into our own eyes. And Maharaj, you are a very responsible person. You are most responsible of us, all of us. So please put your responsibility now it's not the glorification, it's like a second part. So please keep engaged yourself and keep engaged us, because we want to be a strong family. And Gurudev said very clearly that you have to take care of Western borders. So you're in a position where there's actually a compliment, a service to Shiva Gurudev. That's why we don't really afraid so much for you, else someone else could take sannyas and he could take all, this person can be solving the problem. We don't have any that. What we'd like to, and I'm sure everybody can share, what we'd like to see from your side is that wonderful service that you've been doing. But all those years, it took us all here together around Shiva Maharaj and this mission. And we believe with your active presence, this is possible. Now, that's why this is such a great joy for us, because this family is yours. And as you've been doing this, as you've been conducting yourselves, please continue that. And that will be the best joy that Gurudev will have, and we will all have. And we try at our best to provide that attitude, so you could, have that orchestra. The orchestra is doing the same things, playing the same things, and somebody around the things does the big vehicle, sometimes doing his own violin solo. We're collecting everybody. But we need some conducting orchestra, and we'd have the orchestra owner is here with us. But we need sometimes a little direction for orchestra, means a service conduction that's here special for us. It's always in very detailed and fun. So for us in Buddhism, I can just say very shortly, for us in confused. Maharaj подумалось много лет, занимался служением в миссии, и поэтому когда мы говорим цветок, это делал цветок, да, не просто сорвали цветы. И он совершил влияние сегодня для того, чтобы выполнить последнюю часть своего марафонского забега в вечность. Вот и жизнь выполнена, да. Сконцентрироваться и делать то самое служение, которое долгие годы, больше 40 лет совершал в этой миссии. Объединять все преданность вокруг служения центра. И мы надеемся, что это он сделает. Да. Madhusudan Maharaj a.k.a. Bhakti-Ranjan, you already Bhakti-Ranjan before. Now only the new part of it came. Beautiful. Although working on.
I have this thing to say. Everything is good. Everything is good. And Gurudev himself told he was bound by affection of Guru Maharaj. The Swami Maharaj gave a little idea what was the actual embrace of Guru Maharaj. And fortunately, many of us also, we have the wonderful embrace of Srila Govinda Maharaj to remember that we embrace us. And bound by their affection, all devotees are coming to his lotus feet. And this year, maybe more than ever, yet again. And this is the time, Gaura Purnima, when devotees will come and Gurudev will be here and be surrounded with his Lord. And he'll be happy that he is continuing serving. So, here's the way. Well, here, that is something of Gurudev Swami Maharaj. And some call him diplomatic, but I think he's very straight and too straight. Our dear Srila Bhakti Bimal Avadut Maharaj, Srila Goswami Maharaj, Srila Goswami Maharaj, who blessed Goddess, and all of our guardians, sannyasis. We have so many guardians visible to us. And Guru Maharaj used to say we have so many invisible guardians also. And when we are chanting the Jaya prayers, then we're always feeling somehow Bhakti Temple very much present and an invisible guardian, especially to the Western. He is the one who saw these days come. And Gurudev said, yes, when I joined and with Guru Maharaj, I heard these prophecies of Bhaktivinoda Temple, but I could never think that would happen in my life to such a remote. And then when all the devotees from every country or every corner of the world are coming, when Gurudev said on several occasions that I have seen this in my life, was one I was miracle. I am most like of. So it's the bound by affection of Srila Bhakti-Rapa Deva Sangha. Bound by affection of Bhakti Sangha Deva Sangha. That is what is kept me here. That is what's kept you off here.
But I think we also have our senior devotee like Krishna Kanti he say something other.
So just come back to say that you that say the no matter under flower blossom under any circumstances. You were talking about the flower, the sea flower. I think
I just stole this thunder from Gurudev and I'm not even deeper appreciations. At least say something.
Oh, and by the way, there are many non-sannyasi very capable preachers, not only amongst the men, but amongst the ladies, who have got so much grace and affection from Gurudev. Even Gurudev has given some of his lady devotees more of a certificate than us men. So please don't listen to Krishna. Please don't listen to Krishna thankfully for what she says.
I heard from Gurudev that he wanted to give you some years, and you always escape somehow.
I couldn't escape his team though, but they ganged up on me.
So I think it's like he told like me that he wanted as a center in Rome. He couldn't do it when he was alive, but we were trying to do some preaching and all that. And it's when like we are trying to serve him in separation, and he's even giving maybe not much more joy than. So you also to tell you about Sannyas that it was his desire to be to you. So you take him in separation and it would be even more excited. You're preaching. And I hope you will come to Italy too. Dude, you know the rights.
He's coming here. Stop it.
Yeah, we have a good advice.
I am taking their special pass.
If you're going to the temple, I think I need to teach them 4 times in my life. Oh, yeah?
And you know what? Slow Gurudev loud.
And yes,
She's not like that. Very loud. And with a heart, with her heart, and I mean, everything about you, with the artistic. I feel like I'm some divine, with the artistic global dress, the poster, the personality, the service. That's why I understand Gurudev, he had the taste to appreciate the beauty of devotees. Not the external beauty. I'm not talking about the external beauty still, but some proper knew before.
and one thing also, Gurudev appreciated and gave blessing because we saw for years, many years by Bibles, we saw how Gurudev interacted with the devotees. And so when Gurudev gives special attention, special message to something, we will remember ourselves. And that one example is
That
again.
was That was it.
That's my case.
Sorry, I noticed that.
I am
Most needs.
of the childhood with God.
One day, go to the Chicago house that is trouble. They were sitting. And we're just speaking about this, just about the main thing in person. And so she had some serious health problem. And some people said, oh, we health, we can go in time. But what they said, something like this will not allow to die. I am telling you, do that something. Because this guy that has chemotherapy can save the head. So it's went to very different stages of life. But at that stage, her idea was not to like go on a health program and become. She just told you like, she felt told you like, okay, maybe I have a very short time to live, but I'm trying to satisfy my guru as I have very few days with animals to. But during that, I different plans. She said, if you are in this life, Krishna see dedication, he will not let you go actually down. So after many years, when we came to I have seen many people coming, but they don't actually realize everything comes in sacrifice. Even this not. Every building, portion it comes in sacrifice, hard work, hard beliefs. So those that became like it wasn't like radio meetings. Everything is of Chaitanya Saraswati Maharaj, so hard work collection like really Shakti. She collect half it for a while. Got humiliated. She had to like go into the move like just give me money and be poor if you want. Just give me money. And that money would become to good that one of man's, and he would transfer that money from karma into toxin. Just imagine how many people got benefit. It's called Agyata Security. They have no idea they're giving donations for Navadip or Vrindavan Seva. They have no idea. Actually, if we would have an idea, they wouldn't give it. Because they have no value. If you ask them, oh, give me some money for cats and dogs, and okay, so cats I can give you. What about fishermen? Fishermen go, no slaves, I don't know. So the Shakti should say something. Well, cry.
Yeah, that's
You can.
Say something.
Well, I don't know. It's just a very strong career. The tree now that they feel that the fifth part of that. And so we have so many beautiful books in our mission. So many beautiful books. And Madhusudan Maharaj has translated so many of our books into English to give inspiration to not translated, but transliterated. Okay, so that spoken books. And he has spoken so many books to give so much inspiration to so many of us all over the world. And whenever you are, whenever, like if I'm out or collection or driving here and there or doing anything, anyone can get inspiration from reading by hearing, listening to any of the books that have been compiled through the mercy of Swami Maharaj or any of our other leading devotees in our mission. And it's just such a valuable service because I really take a lot of shelter in that. And I'm so grateful for this service that you've done it. And it's incredible because it's just amazing. And when you think about all these books, I haven't even read all the books. I can't even listen to all of them, but he has done this service and it's just so beautiful and so glorious. And I'm just very grateful for that. And he's such a pillar here. He's here when there's been no one here. He has been here through thick and thin. He's given so much inspiration. He's given so much inspiration to all of us here in Sri Navadutta. Always enlivened to be here under his guidance. He gave me so much guidance with whatever little service that I could do here in Sri Navadip. And I'm so grateful for your friendship, your association, and all your inspiration that you've given to me personally and to all the babies on you say hi, so and this is the holiest of holy days, the parents of the teacher father. Very disgusting.
On your own friend.
Let's no man, stop telling me, please. One summer, what is in the summer? Praise you. Nice not to say that. I was just going to say, which words, especially gay, tiny for the one time, from time was to the two was to see clients. Once classrooms. Once this only works with people in this forward. It called my skin over that so. I still have those words. I have Madhusudan motorcycle books, but I recently got rid of my motorcycle license. I just this was like well, he didn't give me a gun, but he gave me the motorcycle. So he didn't give me, but gave me the use of the motorcycle. And sometimes I think it was, but his satisfaction actually. The first time that we came to, from here down to Dum Dum Park on the motorcycle was in Harry Morgan from Australia. And we went down there to get something from looking very well. We went down to get it fixed up there. When we arrived in Dum Dum Park, Gurudev came downstairs to greet Harry Morgan and me. And we were glad from all the, we didn't have any proper clothes. We were completely black from the trucks. And Gurudev was so happy to do the boys and asked me all that to tell me. Yeah, so I think it was also a little bit of self-saying, it was writing another about Gurudev was pleased and to share the adventures if they was people. And by his protection, maybe 100 times I cannot have done, never be held up. Read 2 times a week, 3 times every week on the motorcycle, like Gurudev's protection. Then everything went smooth. And as far as I know, I still hold the record. 1 hour, 48 minutes. On bad roads.
I will give you the title, Divine Rider. I'm coming to get you. And if you don't know that my motorcycle traveled over Malaysia. It's all peaceful, all of Malaysia. And that was you come on his boots by motorcycle and path. And she come and start some kirtan preaching. Inspire people and just go by motorcycle to another place. And actually, whole Malaysian mission was developed by him.
Maharaj, I thought everybody around the world was doing this. I didn't think it was anything unusual.
Well, everybody came by motorcycle. It's what we did. The Lord years was Siddhartha Maharaj, the Lord told him by motorcycle.
And credit to my senior Maharaj who passed away. My senior Guru Maharaj sent me with him to the end in Malaysia, so all credit to him.
We want to hear something also from Mexico.
The lot about me, Maharaj. Didn't you? I can't chastise you because you don't know English.
The don't like fire does.
One thing, but you can get a search in the Stockholm State. Let's get times on experience.
I mean, let it to everybody. The sannyasis, really, they personally work me and explain so many ways. But it's not only the sannyasis. So many people have given their their input and preparation and their support. So I'll just pray that that and but this today is not about being it is also time to talk about Maharaj and how wonderful his appearance and how these festivals are taking place here in Navadvip for the satisfaction of the related with
But sometimes it's finished in Golo with the shoulder. And so we'll be seen here. And Spanish devotees to express their heart in Spanish. And Guru will just like smile, people with them, and they're speaking in Spanish, and actually they have pointed out, he told they understand from Brazil.
and we're speaking to them in English and they are also fully
And Guru left called high transaction. He said it's not about which language you speak, it's about mood and that's like one of the service. And I remember when I was fortunate to visit Mexico many years ago at the Bread Lodge in the game by fire with my brother. And very cool still, temple was opening. I remember all this day. I remember how much the Mexican devotees, the Gurashama, and all the poets, the orchestration which were doing that. How much they love him, how much they actually, it's an amazing how. And I remember when Buddha got the key of miracles. Yes, by your grace.
the key,
Yeah.
the key to the city of Venice.
I was an eyewitness. And Buddha
On the
came,
right.
and there was like Mayor CT and all the people. And Buddha came to the municipal building, was very old, beautiful building, and there so many devotees, and they gave him the key. But he also has to give them something. Somebody. Like normally somebody would receive the chest that you get head off. Okay. But Buddha felt, okay, you give me the key of your city, I also have to give you something. I just started. That was so mystical that everybody were amazed because he started kirtan. But no screen that this municipal people like Mary of the seats here and the old devotees like start going to hurry. People in control. It's like stop. I didn't totally have to go away from home, or else like kirtan just a little bit. Because people were going out and they're going a little bit till I start, like we're here, very bold. So he did like very mild, kirtan, bless everybody, and that was so sweet. And I liked that part. So they're like, we're going to got the key and see get to me. Something very, very valuable.
And another thing, silly,